Hey Pineapple fam, welcome back to another video. Today's topic we're going to be talking about where most collectors like to get their games, because it seems like a lot of us have the same routine. We'll check garage sales, swap meets, we'll go to our local retro video game stores, and even go on to online apps like OfferUp, Mercari, or eBay. But there's an avenue of collecting that I think a lot of collectors seem to not pay as much attention to, and that being antique malls. Now, I've gotten a lot of deals at antique malls over the years, including this Zippo display case you see behind me that I got for 40 bucks. But antique malls typically can be a hit or miss. Either the games are very overpriced, or you can find yourself a super smashing deal. The question in today's video is antique malls still good? We're gonna head to one of my local ones in the area and find out for ourselves. So let's go ahead and head over there and see what we can find. So here we are at the Charleston Antique Mall. From my memory, this place is fairly decently sized. Going up to the front door here, I'm already excited seeing the wall of glass cases. I can't wait to see what video game goods they might have in store for us. So let's open the door and see. Walking up, we're starting off hot with an NES console and a Game Boy, both for $100, as well as a DS XL for $100. I'm sensing a theme here. Going down below, I see some vintage Ninja Turtles, as well as some Troll dolls, and even some Street Shark figures. That's pretty cool to see. Don't see vintage toys too often. Down below, I see a pink Nintendo DS for also $100. Well, this booth seems overfilled, doesn't it? Do you guys remember these old kids' toys with the VHS clamshells? I thought that was pretty neat to look at. So this booth had some games as well, but unfortunately it's all stuff that I really don't need, so I left it behind. Maybe someone else will enjoy it. Here's something really cool that I wish that was for sale. This is like one of those old rotating display cases they used to have in department stores. Wouldn't that look amazing in a game room? Over here we see a Pokeball Tiger Electronic game for $20 that I regret not picking up. Maybe I might go back for it. Over here in the case, I see a game I'm already interested in, Thunder Force 2. Might grab it depending on condition. They also have some NES box games as well. Down below, they have this like Happy Meal Little Mermaid display. That's kind of cool to see, and 75 bucks doesn't seem like a bad price. This cabinet had some GBA games with such bangers like Golden Nugget Casino and is that fucking Green Eggs and Ham? What would that even be about? Over here, I see this very spooky looking Shaggy Ken doll. In fact, it's giving me the creeps. I'm gonna get the hell out of here. Don't want to look at that ever again. I found this strange piece of booth. It's a Christmas-only booth. They sell nothing but Christmas items all year round. Don't know how you make money from that, but you know, what do I know? Over here, we see this interesting-looking Bowser plush. He looks pretty cool. And down below, I see, is that a Game & Watch? I might have to check that out. That looks like to be in very, very nice shape, but we'll have to wait and see. In another booth, I saw some PSP games, including Def Jam Fight for New York The Takeover, as well as Valkyrie Profile and Castlevania. Unfortunately, all overpriced. Going over to this booth, they had a lot of cool things. Old toys, Halloween blow molds, and especially a big collection of old kaiju movies, particularly on VHS. Now, I love me some Godzilla, and as much as I want to pick these up, I don't think I have the space or the money to drop all on these VHS tapes, but it's still really rad. They also had this Rodan section, including Rodan on 8mm film. Can you imagine how long that must have lasted for? And how many times did you have to change the tape? Down below, I see a sealed copy of Code Veronica X Resident Evil for the PlayStation 2. Cool to see a sealed PS2 game. Alright, that place is pretty dang good. I found some good stuff here, so we're gonna go back to the place and talk about it. Alright, as you can see from the footage, the Antique Mall had a wide variety of stuff. I mean, I had so much fun just walking around and just looking at the random crap people are trying to sell. You know, everything was pretty cool to look at, except for that one Christmas booth, which still befuddles me. I don't know why the hell you'd want to sell nothing but Christmas stuff all year long, but you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I should open up a Christmas booth and call it Pineapple Retro's Christmas Extravaganza, and I could become a millionaire. Like that would ever work. But we did manage to find two things to bring home today for the collection. So we'll start off with the first one. We got a Sega Genesis game, and that was Thunder Force 2. That was in excellent condition for a really good price at 37 bucks, considering it goes for $40 online. And the condition of this is super clean. I was very surprised at how nice it was when I got it out of the case. And this is a really fun shoot 'em up series. If you've never tried it before, I highly recommend. But it is fully complete. I mean, the cartridge is clean, the manual's clean. It even came with a little Sega poster for Sonic 2, which I thought was awesome. But overall, a very, very solid pickup. Now for my second and final pickup. This was one I had to waffle on for quite a while. I must have been standing in front of this cabinet for a good 20 minutes, really thinking of the logistics behind this. But at the end, I told myself there's not going to be a lot of opportunities for me to find one of these, especially in the condition I got it in. And I'm of course talking about a Nintendo Game & Watch. This is the game Squish. And when I say this thing is immaculate condition, I mean immaculate condition. I mean, this thing is clean. There's like not a scratch on it. I can't believe how nice this actually is. There's a little sticker residue on the back, but I honestly think I could probably get that off. But like literally, if I open this up, this thing is nice. And it works. They had a battery in it. It works perfectly fine. I played a couple games on it while I was in there, but yeah, I mean, how often are you really going to own and be able to add a Game & Watch to the collection? So I'm very excited about this. But yeah, they had this Game & Watch listed at $120, which sounds pricey at first, but this particular one goes for about $190 to $200 pretty frequently on eBay. And it's things like this where it's like you still feel like you're getting a good enough deal. It might seem pricey at first, but honestly, compared to some of the other vendors in there where I saw like the $100 NES, for example, that's way overpriced, this is not a bad deal. I mean, even Thunder Force 2 was a great deal. So that kind of just proves my point that antique malls still have a lot of deals if you're willing to dig for them. Now, another tip I want to give you guys, if you're ever at an antique mall, don't be afraid to try and negotiate the price. The thing with antique malls is a lot of these booths are rented out by separate vendors. And if you ask the people that work there nicely enough, they will oftentimes call that specific vendor up and ask them if they're willing to go lower on the price, which I've had a lot of success with in the past. Unfortunately for the Game & Watch, I couldn't get a hold of the guys, so I ended up just buying it as is. Which, in this condition, I can't really complain too much. But that's going to be it for today's video. Let me know down in the comments, do you think I got a good deal? Would you go out and try and hunt for games at your local antique mall? Let me know. And of course, until next time, I'll catch you guys later.